Good timing. Will you go to Kikuchiba with me?
Yeah, sure. Why Kikuchiba?
I thought we could go somewhere to talk like when we went to Mizuhigawa. We won't need lunch. I just want to talk.
Oh, got it. No lunch, huh? I guess that was too much last time.
Let's go to the roof of that building. I want to talk somewhere I can see the sky.
Got it. There are a lot of others here, like always.
It'll be easy for us if we work together. Let's go.
Keep it up! Let me borrow this! Come on! Next!
Your attack was the clincher.
I think there's something over there.
Hey, do you remember when we came here together before? A lot has happened since then.
Before? When was that?
You don't remember? You asked me if there was anyone I liked out of the blue. You know, when we went looking for Captain Seto's fountain pen. You said you were doing a background check.
Oh, that.
Back then, I had no idea that we'd get caught up in something that involved the whole world.
Not just us, but everyone around us, too. It's nothing we could have expected.
You're right.
Hey, sorry to interrupt. 2 large groups of others were confirmed near you. There are a lot of them. More than you usually see around there. It shouldn't be a problem for you two, but be careful.
So, how should we go about this?
Let's split up. We can work more efficiently that way.
All right. I'll go this way. I'll contact you when I've cleaned most of them up.
I'm counting on you.
Wataru wasn't joking. That sure is a lot. I hope Kasane is okay.
There's more of them than I thought. How are things with you, Yuito?
Kasane? What's going on? Wataru, what's the situation? Damn, I can't get through. Is the network down? I can't even use SAS. Calm down. It's all right. I can do this.
It's so quiet. I can't hear anyone. It's like I'm really alone. No, this is what normal really is. I'm so used to always being connected to someone through SAS. If I lose my power and go back to being a dud, it will always be like this. It's strange though. I'm not as scared as I thought I would be. I thought I would feel more lonely. Is it because I'm stronger? Probably not. I can feel it in my bones that Kasane is fighting somewhere. Even by herself. I know she won't give any ground. So I can't just die here. Okay, battle's over. the enemy dropped something rare.
Hit it!
I hit the outer shell. I think I can break it if I focus my attacks. That attack worked. There must be a weak spot.
Here we go! Come on! Come on! Keep it up! Here we go! Come on!
Damn. A major other? It might be too much for me. No, Kasane's on her way. I should weaken it as much as I can. Do this.
Relax.
Can't until then. I'm feeling really good. There's nothing I can't do.
Kasane! Is SAS still down? We almost got it. We can finish this if we attack together. Let's do this!
That was a close one.
It was? I wasn't really all that worried. I assumed you would act when you did.
I was nervous. I guess we can work together even without SAS.
I don't think I could have pulled it off with someone else. Thank you for getting the timing right.
It's nice to hear a compliment from you. You're always so harsh.
Am I? Well, whatever. Let's make our way to the top. We can see the moon from here.
It's beautiful. So, what was it you wanted to talk about?
When the fighting is over, what do you plan to do?
I have a vague idea. It might be too grand, so you'll probably laugh.
I won't laugh, no matter what it is.
Thanks. I want to change the world.
Change the world?
Yeah. We've both seen a lot of bad things in this country. The world that we live in now is built on so much sadness and sacrifice.
That's true. Suo, Seiron, and Togetsu. There were people suffering everywhere.
So many people's lives were turned upside down because of the desire for the strongest power, or using powers to alter time. It's got to end. This world can't exist just for powers. I won't let what happened to Nagi happen to anyone else. That's the least I can do for him. That's why I want to change the world. To make it a place where people don't have to rely on powers for everything. I know it will take a long time, but I feel like as a dud, I'm the perfect person for it.
A dud, that's right. How's your head? They were saying you might lose your power.
No big change at the moment, but if it really comes down to it, I'm prepared to become one again.
You're pretty calm about it. The way you were talking, I thought you would be a little depressed.
I mean, it will be inconvenient, but you know what? I'm not the least bit afraid. I thought the same thing when the network went down. Like I was fighting back-to-back with you, even without SAS.
You thought the same thing?
I wonder if that's what it feels like to lose your power. We're not just connected by SAS. Even if we can't see each other's faces or hear each other's voices, the most important thing, our connection, doesn't go away. So I'll be all right.
That's good. When we first met, I honestly thought I wouldn't be able to count on you in a fight.
I kind of had a feeling you thought that.
But you're different now. I think you really can change the world.
Thank you.
Don't mention it. I'm relieved as well. I feel like I can leave this world to you.
Leave? What are you planning to do?
Well, I haven't decided on a clear goal yet, but I've sort of been thinking of something outside this world.
Like, outside of New Himuka? You mean the moon?
I've been thinking about it ever since I heard humanity came here from the moon. Outside this world is another world that I know nothing about, filled with people who are a mystery to me. They're suffering, just like the people here. They are attacked by others, and turning into them. Once I realized that, I couldn't ignore it. I thought maybe I could help somehow.
The moon. I thought I understood the first time I heard about it, but the scale is just too big. It doesn't seem real at all. I certainly never thought about saving the people that live there. You really are amazing.
I'm not amazing at all. I just don't want to regret neglecting the people I could have protected.
I always felt that you were the kind of person that would step up to protect people, even if you're alone. It's almost as if you're not afraid of anything. I looked up to you when I was a kid. I wanted to be just like you.
I think you're plenty like me, and you're giving me too much credit thinking I'm never afraid. As you said before, the most important connections never go away.
You mean Naomi?
Not just her. The memories of my mother, and the time I spent with all of you. The only reason I'm not as afraid as I should be is because I know they'll always be with me. I know that they'll always be here, inside my heart.
So, even if you're alone, you're never really alone? I kinda like that.
That's why I feel like I can go anywhere, even going beyond the sky. I know that sounds like a dream.
I think you can do it. No. I know you can.
Thank you.
So, it looks like you and I will be going our separate ways.
It won't just be us. I think everyone will find their own path and slowly drift farther apart.
Yeah. I'd be lying if I said it didn't make me sad.
But even apart, we're still friends.
Yeah. Okay. We should probably get back to the hideout.
There's so much to do before and after a fight. We just have to take care of what's in front of us.
Though, listening to you made me excited for the future.
It won't be easy for either of us, so let's do our best. Both in our own places.
Absolutely. I promise I'll make a better future, no matter how long it takes.
You can take your time, but if you take too long, I'll bring peace to the moon and come back before you're done.
Oh, so it's a competition now. I know you hate to lose.
Yuito, I have a favor to ask. Will you climb Hieno Mountain with me?
Sure, but why? Was there an other warning there or something?
No, I just want to climb the mountain. The truth is, I'm still worried about my power. Lifting weights is not enough to shake my insecurity. I want to put myself in an extreme situation to clear my thoughts.
And you thought of Hieno Mountain. But you had a pretty tough time climbing it before.
It was certainly difficult climbing the mountain with this body, but that's why I want to do it. I want to climb it with my own strength and see just how strong I've become. so I don't want you to help unless it's an emergency, or another appears.
You want to test your limits? Okay, but don't do anything crazy.
Thank you very much.
Maybe we should take a break.
I can still go on. I'm sorry for causing you some problems of late.
Don't worry about it. It's good to talk to someone.
I understand in theory that I shouldn't let losing my power bother me. But being a dud is something that has occupied my mind for a very long time. A dud's quality of life is hardly considered in current New Himuka society. It's the same as if they don't exist. If I lose my power, that's what will happen to me. And that scares me.
I guess not being able to see the net or visions is the same as being ignored by the world. But since they're outside of society, doesn't that mean they can change it from the outside?
That's just idealism. Society does not work that way.
That may be true, but that doesn't mean you should just give up.
You're still young enough to have hopes like that. I've been alive in this world for decades. I'm painfully aware of what can and cannot be done. I am not the child that I appear to be.
I know you're not a child, so don't give up so easily. If you don't face the problem like an adult, nothing will change.
But I...
Watch out!
Thank you. You saved me.
Oh, that was scary. I'm glad you didn't slip. Oh, I guess you could have teleported.
It happened so fast. If I had fallen, that may have been it. You ended up saving me, even though I said I was here to test my own strength.
Does it matter? I mean, I only helped you then. You climbed all this way by yourself. It's okay to get help when you really need it. I don't think being strong is doing everything by yourself without anyone's help.
I see.
Oh, sorry. That was a little high-handed.
No, you're right. You made me think of my brother.
Former Major General Karin?
He is adored by everyone, but he trusts no one and takes all the burdens on himself. I've always followed in my brother's footsteps, but I don't need to follow his path anymore. I don't want to be like Karin. In fact, I shouldn't be. Yuito, I apologize for getting emotional.
No, I was mouthing off too. Let's call it even.
All right. Now, let's get to the top. If we don't hurry, the sun will set before we get down. We're here.
We made it. You did it!
Yes, it was the result of my daily exercise. And your help.
I was just along for the ride. Like I said, you got here on your own.
Thank you. New Himuka looks so small from here.
From this far away, the people look like ants.
It's strange. Small people, big people, psionics, duds. They are all just specks when seen from far away. Nations and societies are just gatherings of those specks. If that's the case, perhaps something can be done.
It looks like he has an idea. I guess the mountain climbing helped.
All right. Thanks to our climb, I understand what issue I must focus on.
That's great. So you're not worried anymore?
No. First, I must get bigger.
You don't mean taller, do you?
I mean mentally. You can't change the world alone. It requires small efforts by many people. So I want to have the capacity to accept everyone's ideas without losing myself. If I can depend on people, and be depended on, anything is possible.
I see. You look satisfied.
Yes, but this is only the beginning. I still have far to go.
I'm impressed. He seems bigger already. Okay, I have to get to work too.
Oh, how spirited. We should train together then. I will make a program right away.
What? Oh man, can't we just take it easy today?
Do you have a second, Yuito? There's somewhere I'd like to take you.
Okay, where are we going?
A cemetery near Sumeragi Tomb. I'm going to go pay respects to my friend Masaki. There wasn't a body we could bury, but his brother added his name to the family grave.
So he has a proper grave. Yeah, let's go. Are you sure you don't need more time?
No, this was enough. He already knew everything I wanted to tell him. I was thinking about what went down at Mizuhigawa. There were so many people discarded that way.
Yeah. We only found one truck's worth, but I'm sure there were many more before it.
They say that many retired soldiers die quickly or go missing. I thought it was just the toll of serving in the OSF, but it could be all the government's doing, trying to secure the brains they need.
I wouldn't be surprised if the government did that. It's chilling to think about.
They use what's useful and discard what isn't. People are just tools to this nation. But we aren't tools. We have a chance for another life when we can't fight anymore. I won't forgive them for taking away that possibility and discarding them like trash.
I feel the same. That's the way they treated my best friend.
You mean Nagi?
Yeah. He and Masaki both had so much life ahead of them. We need to end these types of things from happening in our lifetime.
I thought that my role in the OSF was ending. But it looks like there's this giant task still left. I want to right this nation's wrongs and protect the future, as someone who is still remaining.
You're not planning on doing that all by yourself, are you? I'd like to help too.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Don't mention it. Well, shall we head back to the hideout?
Wait, there's somewhere I want to stop by.
Okay. Where are we going?
I wanted to go to this restaurant, but I couldn't bring myself to go in alone. I'd be grateful if you came with me.
Surprise Original Gyoza Suzaku. That's an impressive sounding place.
I became more interested in food since our last excursion. I started looking up trendy new restaurants on food websites when I have time.
So, you have a new hobby. Is it nearby?
Yeah. I realized when I looked at the website that Masaki and I used to go there together all the time. The restaurant's name and atmosphere completely changed after the previous owner died, so I hadn't visited since. But there's no point in only looking at the past. I have to try the new gyoza for myself.
Their popular dishes are the Ogre Hell Gyoza and Final Dragon Gyoza? Hard to imagine those are names for food.
It doesn't matter what their names are, what matters is how they taste. It's good to be adventurous.
You're right. Although, that's not something you would have said just a short while ago.
Perhaps. I was too stubborn. I need to be less afraid of trying new things. I'll honor Masaki's memory by enjoying what life I have left.
You look at peace. I think you've gotten younger.
Don't be ridiculous. But a weight has been taken off my shoulders. It's been a while since I felt this way.
All right. Let's try these surprise gyoza then.
Eat as much as you like. It's my treat. Maybe we can take some back to the hideout for everyone.
That's a good idea. I just hope they taste as strange as their names.
No kidding.
I finally heard from Major General Fubuki. He asked us to head to Sumeragi Tomb right away. Apparently, the chief will be there.
Kaito. Actually, what's my brother's status now?
He's still the acting chief, but most of his authority has been transferred and no one has seen much of him lately.
My guess is that the government is going to make him take the fall for everything and abandon him.
The chief might have decided to help us because he knows that's what they're going to do.
As long as he helps us, it's fine. Now let's head to Sumeragi Tomb.
Kaito.
So you finally made it. You want inside the Sumeragi tomb, correct?
Right. In order to close the Kunad Gate, there's something we need to check inside the tomb.
If Karin really is inside, then he is the key to closing it.
If, huh? Not only is everything circumstantial, it doesn't sound very credible either. Is this really what you choose to stake everything on? Very well. If you do indeed manage to save the world, it will reflect quite nicely on the Sumeragi name.
Is that all that matters?
Hanabi, it doesn't matter what he says, as long as he helps us.
I've disabled the security for the entrance. Close the Kunad Gate. I heard you stopped Togetsu's plan. You managed to avenge her. You did what I had set out to do.
So, you knew about Mom's death?
Dad and I. We vowed that we'd destroy Togetsu one day. This isn't what I imagined, but it looks like Dad and I got our wish.
Kaito.
Go. Do what you need to do. This is the path you've chosen.
Thank you.
Yakumo Sumeragi should be sleeping in here.
Let's find out whether our theory was right. If it's actually the former Major General that traveled to the past.
So this is what it's like inside Sumeragi Tomb.
I thought it'd be gloomier since it's a tomb. Yakumo's got a good thing going here.
We need to go down.
Those stairs go all the way down. I don't think there's any danger to worry about.
Let's take them. I don't see any other way down.
Yuito, Kazane, Major General Fubuki said he'd join you too.
Should we go meet him?
No, he said he can't head there right away, so he'll meet up with you later. Copy that. We'll go on ahead then. These stairs just go on and on. Ugh, what a pain. What's up with this place, Yuito?
What? How's this my fault?
I mean, it's your family's tomb, right? Install an elevator.
Good job. Pretty sure you've reached the bottom floor.
Oh, we finally made it. Looks like there's only a single path from here. There's a big space up ahead. That's probably where Yakumo is sleeping.
I guess we just need to move forward. I was worried it might be a maze in here to prevent grave robbing.
Stay on your toes. Just because nothing's happened so far doesn't mean that it...
I just felt something in my brain.
What? I didn't feel anything.
What's going on?
What's happening? Signal is deteriorating.
Wataru. Damn. We lost the transmission.
Where are we? Is this Suo's OSF headquarters?
How did we get here all of a sudden? Oh, maybe there was some sort of teleportation trap. Just calm down and take a better look around you. Something doesn't seem quite right. The city looks a little off.
This feeling. I remember it from before. Are we inside a brain field?
That is certainly a possibility. Since I felt something interfere with my brain, this could be a measure to confuse intruders. Or...
Others?
This is what happened when we went to the Kronos terminal. Get ready to fight.
It'll take too long to chip away at its shell. Just use psychokinesis and hit it with something heavy.
I hit the outer shell. I think I can break it if I focus my attacks.
Okay, use it.
That attack worked. That must be a weak spot.
Now, Yuito!
Next. Here we go.
Good. I made it. Thanks, Luca.
Is everyone okay?
Thanks.
I can hit it!
Don't get cocky just because you helped me a little.
Now die!
Yuito, do it!
Keep it up!
Shell is broken. Give it everything you have.
Seems like we managed to kill all the others around here, but our situation hasn't improved much.
We haven't been able to reach Haruko or Wataru either. We should... Huh?
Karin?
Ta-da! As of today, Alice Ichijo is now an official member.
Congratulations, Alice. The three of us are together again.
It also seems like we have a mission for our new platoon. I'm going to show you two who the real star member is.
I just hope the newbie's overenthusiasm doesn't make her do something reckless.
Oh, really? You know, I heard a certain somebody got written up for disobeying orders.
Fubuki.
I mean, that was your 50th write-up. That's quite the milestone. How could I not share it?
They say you're a shoo-in for Septentrion, Karin, but I guess you've got some issues with your superiors.
I don't intend to follow orders I don't agree with.
That's so like you. Oh, I guess that just means you'll have to climb to the top of the OSF.
Sounds like too much trouble. I'm not interested in looking after people weaker than me. Fubuki can do all that instead.
You say that, but you always look after your friends in the end. You're usually more helpful than I am. I think you're more suited to run things than me. Actually, I bet you're really gunning for the position. Stop trying to hide it.
You've been gunning for the top position from the very beginning.
Listen to the two of you. Honestly, just take the top two positions and you're all set.
That's a good idea. If we take the current organization and break them into regiments... Ooh.
Stop with the creepy laugh.
Don't worry, I don't do it in front of anyone else. You'd do so much better in life if you just learned how to have an outside persona.
Not having a facade is one of Karn's better qualities. Although it wouldn't hurt you to learn to have one so you wouldn't get written up so much.
What did we just see?
Major General Fubuki. And Karn, right? And Aunt Alice?
Oh, right, she was your aunt. The three of them were childhood friends. That brought back some memories. Funny, I had forgotten the color of Karn's hair back then. Now it's completely different from Luca's.
That's right. It's a pretty rare phenomenon. So it may have something to do with my brother's powers. That looked like it was from when Alice first entered the Force. That would make it over 20 years ago.
If this was a brain field, then I guess it would make sense for it to be affected by someone's memories or emotions.
I'm not entirely sure what that was. But first we should figure out how to get out of here. Staying here won't help. Let's see what's up ahead.
I can't get a read in this space. All I can sense is that it's really vast.
There's some familiar scenery mixed in too. The connection is so chaotic.
Looks like that's the way this space works. This area must be connected to some other location as well.
Some help, Luca!
Don't get burned!
I hit the outer shell. I think I can break it if I focus my attacks. The shell is broken. Give it everything you have. That attack worked. There must be a weak spot. Come on.
Do what you want.
I have to do something about this fire. Here we go. Come on. I'm losing this shit. Yeah. Come on.
And here we go.
Here we go. There. Take this. Yeah. Not over yet. No chance! Thanks, Hanabi!
Nice fire! You got this!
There! Take this! Next! That attack worked! That must be a weak spot. Hit the outer shell.
Okay, use it.
I think I can break it if I focus my attacks. Come on. Hey! Leave it to me. Get it. There we go. Yeah. It's over. Where are you? It's gone, but I still feel blood. Own it. Lust. The other is still around. Find it with Segumi's power.
What?
roasted.
Did I make it?
You're so fast. Thanks, Archie.
Damn it! Let me use your power! At this rate... It's close.
You should leave it to me. Let's regroup.
Damn! I can do this! With my power.
I'll take care of it. Witness my strength. I'm feeling really good. I'll take care of it.
Let's do it together! I need your help! Come on! Here we go! Keep it up! I'm using this, Shiden! Come on!
Time to fight back.
You guys good?
Let's go.
Here we go! Come on! Let me borrow this!
Use my power? Others projectiles. Be careful. It will mess up your head.
Here we go!
Do what you want. I'm watching out for you.
No way! Time! Now die!
Yuito!
Yes!
Don't get cocky.
Keep it up.
That attack worked. That must be a weak spot.
A successful preempt. The enemy didn't see you coming at all.
Yeah! Come on!
Now, Yuito!
Thanks, Hanabi. No way. Damn! Is everyone okay?
Tricking the weak spot on his back. It's fast, so use SAF to counter.
Thanks, Kyoka. Here we go.
close.
You should leave it to me.
Come on! Let's do it together!
Take this!
Let's go!
I can hit it! This is nothing!
Still fun!
Here we go!
Good, I made it. Thanks, Luca.
Leave it to me! Come on!
Do it!
So, you need help?
That attack worked. That must be a weak spot. Watch it down.
I see. This one's stronger than the rest. Fall back and regroup. Are you all right?
Yeah. Well, thank you for saving me.
Keep your guard up, idiot.
You're right. Sorry. How many times have you saved me now?
Nobody's counting.
Are you two okay? Good. Looks like you're all right.
Yeah, this idiot just messed up again. I handled it.
There's the tough act again. You need to take better care of yourself. You're hurt.
What? I'm sorry. You got hurt because of me. Let me take a look.
It's just a scratch. Alice is tired. Stay with her, Fubuki. I'm gonna check on the remaining teams. We'll need to regroup the platoon if we're gonna kill that other.
Hey, Karin!
It's gone.
That one also had to do with Karin. This field. Maybe it's something he generated.
To prevent anyone from getting close to where he's sleeping?
Even if that were the case, why show us these memories? I'd think he would rather keep them secret.
I agree. My brother doesn't talk about himself much, nor does he like to.
The memories are probably mixed in subconsciously.
instructional prison. It's not a well-timed attack.
Let me borrow this! Now die! Don't forget it, Yuito! I can hit it! Come on! Finish this, Yuito!
I'll protect you.
Thank you, Hanabi.
Here you go!
It's down. Give it everything you've got. That attack worked.
I can do this! With my power!
That must be a weak spot. I feel the power coursing through me. The enemy's too fast to capture easily. Use SAS.
Leave it to me!
Yuito, do it! It's down! Give it everything you've got!
Do it!
I can hit it! Now die! It's over!
Take it out!
Not
Okay,
yet!
use it!
I need your help!
The enemy is gonna try and ambush us. Let's go invisible. I hit the outer shell. I think I can break it if I focus my attacks.
That's good?
Do you need help?
That attack worked. There must be a weak spot.
Now!
Lead on!
I'm with you!
Shall we?
Yeah!
Just focus!
I'll follow up.
Nice setup.
That attack worked. There must be a weak spot.
What happened?
Take it out!
There! Hit it! Let's see.
That enemy is stunned. Good job taking the initiative.
Some help, Luca!
That attack worked. There must be a weak spot.
Leave it to me! It's over!
That was good. Not quite as good as me, though.
Yeah! There! There! Now! Here we go! Thanks, Kasane!
I'm watching out for
I need your help!
That attack worked. There must be a weak spot.
recharge. Take this.
The oil is making me sluggish.
Go, Yuito.
That attack worked. That must be a weak...
Leave it to me! It's over! Yeah!
That was good, Yuito. Go, Yuito!
Leave it to me! Come on!
Finish, Yuito! Let's go!
Here.
Here I go!
That was a nice move. Yuito!
Yeah! It's over!
Finish it! Oil.
Leave it to me!
Watch out for fire.
I'm not done yet.
I can hit it! It's over!
That was a great attack.
That attack worked. There must be a weak spot.
Leave it to me!
Sounds good. Not quite as good as me, though.
This is bad. Let's regroup! Now die! Come on! Yeah! It's over! Let's do it together!
I'm watching out for you.
Here we go! I'm using this, Shide.
That attack worked. That must be a weak spot.
Now die! Come on!
Whoa! Nice! Take this.
Some help, Luca! Yeah! It's over! I can hit it! Come on!
It was thanks to my power.
Leave it to me! It's over!
That was a great attack.
I need your help!
I hit the outer shell. I think I can break it if I focus my attacks. You good?
Crush you!
You need help?
That attack worked. There must be a weak spot.
Where are we now? Doesn't seem like we're any closer.
Just look at the size of this place. How are they generating something so huge? This brain field feels much larger than what a single psionic should be able to generate.
Huh?
What is that?
Since he thought it was too powerful. We better be ready.
It seems that there are some parts that are immune to attack. You'll need to determine which areas will be more effective to hit.
I thought the object in its right hand was a shield for defense, but it seems like it will also use it for attacks.
Its arm changes only when it's defending the water. So we should try attacking there. It's hard to get close with how strong the water flow is, though.
We should use teleportation to get inside of the flow. Use SAS.
Here we go! Let me borrow this! This is bad.
Thanks. I can fight it.
You guys good? Thanks, Kyoko. I can still fight. Damn. I need your help. Let's regroup.
Go, Yuito.
Don't get burned!
This is bad. Is everyone okay?
Thanks. I can fight it.
I'll help.
That enemy is stunned.
some help, Luca! Got it!
Yuito!
No problem. It's over. Let's hurry on ahead.
Oh, there's still another.
It wasn't alone?
It looks similar, but it's a different other. Be careful.
I'm fine.
Come on! Let me borrow this! Here we go!
That nose attack was pretty powerful. Make sure it doesn't hit you. The gas makes it hard to see. Use my eyes.
I have to do this!
It's down. Give it everything you've got. There's nothing I can't do. Witness my strength! I'll take care of it. I'm feeling really good.
We'll tough it out together.
Witness my strength! I'll help you. There's nothing I can't do. I told you to stop trying to look cool.
Is everyone okay?
I feel the power coursing through me! What? More than one type of projectile? Man, versatile.
I'm using this again. Thanks, Hanabi.
Ooh, it's time for my power, Yuito.
Did I make it?
You're so fast. Thanks, Arashi.
It'll work.
An attack.
That was dicey. You're finished!
Worked. There must be a weak spot.
Now it's really over, right?
Seems like that may be an incorrect assumption. Don't lose your focus.
That left-hand attack is pretty strong. Second hesitation, and it's over.
It's a powerful other, but it's open just after it attacks. Go for its left arm after it attacks. It's worth a try.
I can do this! With my power.
I'm feeling really good. There's nothing I can't do. I'll protect you all. I'll destroy everything. Go, go, go! strong individually, but I didn't think it would do something like this.
Let's regroup! Here we go!
Whoa! How are we supposed to beat an other this tough? Calm down. The three others we faced all had weak points. It's possible this other carried those weak points over. If that's the case, the strategy we've been using will still work.
I can still fight.
I need your help!
It's them! Give it everything you've got!
Here we go!
My fault.
Come on!
Now, Yuito!
I need your help!
Where are you? Need help?
Let me borrow this!
Go, Yuito.
It's hard to move when you're wet.
Go, do it!
Is everyone okay? Come on!
Do you need help?
Use my strength!
What happened?
The attack worked! That must be a weak spot.
Let's regroup!
Thanks. I can fight.
I'm using this, Shiden!
Now I can take it easy.
Here we go! Come on! I'm using this, Sugumi!
Go, Yuito.
Thanks. I can fight.
Where are you? I need your help!
Show it.
Seems like we finally got it. Do you think it's just a coincidence that the other we saw from his memory appeared?
I heard that being inside a brain field for a long period of time will eventually manifest your emotions and memories.
That makes sense if Karin is the one who made this field. That memory where he protected Alice must be affecting things.
Then staying here any longer could be dangerous.
Yes, we should hurry. It seems like the field goes on further ahead.
I think we can use that train, Yuito. Just ram the others when they're not looking.
Don't get caught!
Looks like the enemy lost sight of us.
Watch out in front! Target! Next.
Witness my strength! I'm feeling really good!
Yeah!
There's nothing I can't do!
Exploding others are a routine. Keep your distance or you'll get caught in the blast. I can become even stronger. I'm going to get burned if I don't do something.
Some help, Luca!
I need to support the injured.
You guys good? I can hit it! Come on!
Finish this, Yuito!
You lead!
Take it out!
Leave it to me!
That was a good attack. I need to support the injured.
Let's regroup!
I appreciate the help.
Don't get cocky!
It was thanks to my power.
Okay, use it.
That enemy is stunned.
Keep it up!
I can still get better.
Thanks, Hanabi! I need your help! I can hit it! Is everyone okay? I need your help.
I wasn't expecting oil.
Do you need help?
Yeah! It's over!
Now, Yuito!
That attack worked. There must be a weakness.
Finish this, Yuito!
Now die! This!
Good, I made it. Thanks, Luca.
My fault.
We did it. Damn.
I need to support the injured.
Let's regroup!
I appreciate the help. The oil is making me sluggish.
Yeah! Now die! It's over!
I'll protect you!
Thank you, Nabi. That attack worked. Here we go. There must be a weak spot.
Come on!
I can become even stronger.
I can still fight.
Hey, it turned invisible too. We have Sagumi, so it's no big deal.
Don't get burned! It's hard to fight like this. Use SAS to pin down the location of the other creating smoke.
You guys good?
I appreciate the help.
Here we go!
Got me.
I need your help! Let's regroup now. I can hit it!
Here we go.
Damn.
Yeah!
Now, Yuito!
Where are you?
Watch the enemy.
Now die! It's over!
That was impressive!
Take this!
It's covered in oil. It should burn with a little fire.
Nice fire! You got this!
Leave it to me! Come on!
Get him, Yuito! I can't imagine that giant other would appear here, too.
With my power!
Watching it. Remove your ground. We should disappear, too.
These other creates dummies. We need to attack the real ones, so observe carefully. I feel the power coursing through me! I'll take That's right! You're... Let me borrow this! Where are you?
Other turned invisible, but I can still see it. Try using clairvoyance. It's smoky. Use SAS to see the other.
Here we go!
Take it out!
Leave it to me! It's over! Let's go! The enemy is gonna try and ambush us. Let's go invisible. I need your help. It's down! Give it everything you've got! Damn! Damn! Where are you? I'm using this, Segumi!
More power.
Split apart. We should figure out the real one and attack it.
Now, Yuito!
I can hit it! Come on! Finish this, Yuito! Come on! Thanks, Kasane! That attack worked! That must be a weak... Spot.
Take this.
I need your help!
My fault.
Thanks, Nabi. Hey! That attack worked. That must be a weak spot.
Lead on!
Focus on attack.
Now die! It's over!
Take it out!
Yeah! I need your help! Some help, Luca!
Apparently, the extinction belt has dropped near the surface. This has never happened before.
With all these others around, this is turning out to be a tough mission.
What?
Karin!
What?
Alice? No. Alice, is that you?
Alice morphed into another after coming into contact with the extinction belt.
I had no idea the extinction belt could drop that low and close to the surface.
I've heard that it's a rare occurrence. I've never seen it drop that low myself.
Hey, notice anything about that other?
Yes. She was one of the ones who helped us fight alongside Naomi.
I see. So that other really was her.
Did you guys meet Aunt Alice? I think she's supposed to be in Seiron's laboratory.
We just figured it out now ourselves. Alice has already passed away.
If that's true, then Karin used the red strings as soon as he found out about her death.
Which means my brother is after...
We'll know when we see him. There's no doubt that he's here.
I know everyone has a lot of questions, but don't forget what we came here to do. We're here to get his help.
I need your help!
Okay, use it.
I hit the outer shell. I think I can break it if I focus my attacks. The shell is broken. Give it everything you have. That attack worked. That must be a weak spot.
My head! Just hang in there! Get slammed! Come on!
Do what you want.
Thanks, Kyoka!
Don't get cocky.
Hone it. Next.
Watch out for that other's projectile. It can cause temporary confusion.
You guys good? There! Just taste this! Let me borrow this!
That attack worked. That must be a weak spot. Try using my power on it.
Yeah!
That's a cheat. We might be able to use it to attack.
Let me use your power!
That enemy is stunned.
Good. Here we go!
Now, Yuito! Now!
Keep it up! I have to do this! Leave it to me! Come on! My strength! I'll take care of it! Witness much! I can hit it! Strength! I'll take care of it! Next! Let's do it together!
I'm watching out for you.
I hit the outer shell. I think I can break it if I focus my attacks. That attack worked. There must be a weak spot.
Hey, snap out of it.
Keep it up. Sorry, Shiren.
Go! Spin! Keep it up. I'm using this, Shiren. Yeah! I can do this! With my power.
I'll protect you all! I'll destroy everything!
I can hit it! Come on!
I'll take care of it!
Yeah!
I'll protect you all! I'll destroy everything! There's nothing I can't do!
It won't let you suffer alone.
I'll take care of it!
What? Alice. I failed again. I'm tired of my own incompetence. I failed to save her. Again. This history is unnecessary. If Arahabaki was right, I can just start over from the beginning again. As many times as I need to. Use the red strings for Alice.
What was that? It's like Karin's thoughts were inside my head.
So him going back in time was to save Alice.
What does he mean by as many times as he needs to? And he mentioned something about Arahabaki.
Right. Even if he goes back to change the past, it doesn't necessarily mean Alice will be saved. The future is always uncertain. Once he determines he can't save her, he goes back to the past to change history all over again and repeats the process.
So, he's going to keep jumping through time until Aunt Alice is saved?
Wait. He time traveled after that, right? But Alice is still dead at this time.
He went back to the past, but history hasn't changed. So he failed?
I've never seen my brother like that before. Do you think he'll listen to us?
Either way, he's our only lead. We have to get him to cooperate.
Exploding others are a real pain. Keep your distance or you'll get caught in the blast.
I need your help! Okay, use it.
I can't see it anymore, but I can feel it. Let's use SAS to find it.
Another one! Here we go!
Your mobility declines when you're wet.
Do this!
There's nothing I can't do! There's nothing I can't do! Hey, is that all you got? I mean, this is what's right.
It's split, but two of them are dummies. Look carefully and attack the real one.
I can still fight.
That must be a weak spot.
Yuito!
I'm soaked.
Now!
Next! One bolt.
Thanks, Navi!
Take this!
So, you need help?
It was thanks to my power. That attack worked. That must be a weak spot.
More power.
through me! Now go, go, go! Take this guy out now! I mean, this is what's right!
I'm not done yet.
Don't get cocky.
Did I make it?
You're so fast. Thanks, Arashi. The oil is making me sluggish.
Let's regroup.
Thanks. I can fight.
I'll follow up.
Nice. It's burning.
I'm using this, Segumi.
The attack worked. There must be a weak spot.
Got me.
Here we go. That was close.
I'm not done yet.
Let me borrow this.
Your mobility declines when you're wet.
Take this.
Nice fire! You got me!
Next.
Ooh, it's time for my power, Yuito. That attack worked. There must be a weak spot.
Be on guard. So, you need help?
Is everyone okay?
I appreciate the help.
Focus and attack.
Thanks, Sanada. My body. Can you move?
Your mobility declines when you're wet.
Don't get cocky.
It was thanks to my power. The attack worked. There must be a weak spot.
Damn, come on. At this rate. Good. Here we go. Let me use your power. I can hit it. Come on.
Now, Yuito! Let's go!
You need help?
I'll protect you!
Thank you, honey.
Let me borrow this!
Nice fire! You got this! One more!
Not yet!
I appreciate the help. Damn, I'm getting roasted.
It's over! Come on! I can do this! Relax.
I'm feeling really good. I'll protect you all. I'll destroy everything. I feel the power course. This is Sumeragi Tomb? Yuito! Good, I finally got through. I was worried after we lost our connection.
I'm glad you're all okay.
It seems like we managed to make it out. Karn might be close. Is that Karn? Or should we call him Yakumo?
He really was here. I guess he woke up from his cold sleep.
Wait, some kind of device is active here.
What? Yakumo? What's going on?
There are two Karns?
Why are you here? What is going on? Yeah, that's what I would like to know. I tried to travel back 2,000 years ago, but was rejected. What? Explain to me why the time travel failed. I helped you back at Arahabaki's secure site. However... you...
What are you talking about?
Hand over all of the information.
What? Did he just get absorbed? Looks like I was right to worry. That's what happens when you meet yourself.
I haven't the slightest clue of what's going on, but does this mean Karn failed to travel to the past?
What is this memory? So I do need his power after all. Now, what are you doing in this place?
We need your help to close the Kunad Gate. Please, help us.
We heard what you were saying. When you traveled 2,000 years in the past, You created an entanglement. The Kunad Gate won't close as long as the entanglement still exists. So we need you to come with us so we can unravel...
No!
How tedious.
I figured you'd resort to force.
I guess even you couldn't maintain the red strings with your power. That's why you needed to copy it again.
Don't bother resisting. I will obtain the red strings.
Where did you even learn about the red strings?
From Arahabaki. Or, more accurately, my own memory inside it. As you saw, we are one now.
So Yakumo was connected to it while in cold sleep? How could they incorporate a living human into Arahabaki?
Why are you so surprised? Do you know how many brains are living connections to Arahabaki?
So it was a biocomputer comprised of brains like Babe.
When our brains were being hacked at Arahabaki's secure site, and there was that weird brain field...
It was all done by Yakumo. By you.
It seems that way. The version of me that was in cold sleep used Arahabaki to generate that brain field in order to conceal this location.
So you were connected to it from here, gathering all kinds of information over the last 2,000 years without anyone even knowing.
I understand why you want to time travel, but that'll just create another entanglement.
So what? I'll do whatever I have to do in order to time travel again.
Karen!
So you have no intention of helping us?
Just listen, please. I know you have your reasons, and I know there's a whole lot going on between New Himuka and the moon. But we can't fix anything if the world ends. We need to make things right. We need to create a new future that won't bring about our destruction.
This timeline isn't worth saving. I will change the past, and I will make it work this time.
I understand that you want to save Alice, but that...
I don't need you to understand. You will help me, even if I must break you to obtain your aid! I won't let you get in the way.
We're here because we've survived many battles. Remembering our experiences should help us.
Meaningless.
Are you okay? You saved me. Sorry.
My fault.
I'm using this shit.
Thanks. I can fight.
Close.
Stay down.
Eyesight. Great job, Tsugumi.
How about this?
Ooh, it's time for my power, Yuito.
Damn.
Let's go.
Close.
I'll make you submit. Just focus.
This is bad. Let's regroup. Here we go. close.
Stand in my way! Give up hope. Run. Move! Let's go. Meaningless. Can you dodge this? Can you handle it?
Some help, Luca!
I can still push on.
Thanks, Hanabi.
I'll use this. How's that? Can you dodge this?
Do you need help?
Just the beginning.
My body!
Are you okay?
You saved me. Sorry.
Still fight!
I'll use this.
At this rate...
Go, Yuito!
Let me borrow this! Damn! Is everyone okay?
Just the beginning.
Here we go!
Meaningless.
Let me use your power!
I'll wait you out.
Hey! Here we go! Thanks, Kasane!
My body!
My fault. Let's go.
Thanks, Kyoka!
I'll make you
Here we go!
just the beginning.
Let's reload!
I appreciate the help.
Fool.
Here we go!
It's not over yet. Get ready.
Do what you want.
Here we go!
All of my powers. Not bad.
I'm using this, Shiden.
I'll use this.
Here we go!
Just the beginning.
I have to do it! Please, Karin!
Let's finish this!
We have to unravel the entanglement!
I won't accept it!
No matter how much you use your power alone, all it takes for us is to use the SAS.
We won't let you get away with this so easily. Please, just talk to us, Karin!
Shut up! You're all so endlessly annoying! What?
Karin?
Karin? What's going on?
I see. 2,000 years. No. Thousands of memories and hopes. Nothing more than stepping stones to me. You, this world, and still.
No way. Karin, is that you?
Get ready!
What the heck are these things?
Use your power. It looked like it appeared from within Karin. Maybe it's his memories or feelings materializing in the real world.
His brain made something as ominous as that.
Are you okay?
You saved me. Sorry.
This much power. There's no way Karin will come out of all of this unscathed.
He's likely prepared for that outcome. Or rather, my brother thinks of even himself as just a pawn to reach his goal.
Yuito, you can do this! Take this!
Of course. This is the moment of truth.
That's right. No matter how many enemies there are, we'll crush them all.
This is bad.
Yeah, and we'll all help to do it.
Good.
Hit it!
I'm using this, Shiden.
Man, we can hit Karin now. Let's go.
Something's wrong with Karin. We should back off for now. If you can break that crystal, I bet you could use it with your psychokinesis.
Let's do it together! I can do this! Keep it up! Own it!
transport the injured. I'll protect you all! I'll destroy everything! I feel the power coursing through me! There's nothing I can't do! Witness my strength! I guess I have to help you. I'll take care of it! Yuito, let me help you! I'll protect you all! I'll destroy everything! I mean, this is what's right! I'll do my best for you. I'm feeling really good! Taste my strength! I just want to know the truth.
You guys good? Thanks. I can fight. Okay, use it.
I need your help! I need you, Gemma! Thanks, Tsunabi! Now! This should...
Now, Yuito!
I can do this! Relax.
I feel the power coursing through me!
You dodge this? Won't get my way. Now! You'll taste
I'll
my
protect
strength.
you all! I'll destroy everything! Leave it to me. There's nothing I can't do!
Yuito, you need my help.
I'll protect you all! I'll destroy everything! I mean, this is what's right!
Do what you want. I'm watching out for you.
With everything! this! I have to do it! Let's do it!
Understood.
We have to win here!
Karin, please do not stand up. You can't take any more.
Karin!
I won't let things end here!
What is this?
Everyone, be careful! Something's...
What?
Where is everyone? Kasane! Answer me! Damn it. SAS and Brain Talk are both offline.
I'm going to save you, Alice. I promise.
What's happening? At this rate... No, calm down. Everyone is probably in the same situation as me, fighting somewhere. I can't let myself get scared now.
Damn! And now...
Even if I'm here alone, everyone's thoughts are connected to me. I'm not alone. I won't lose to a soul enemy like you!
I'll protect you, Yuito!
Guess you can't handle things without me.
Hanabi, Shiden! So glad you're okay.
Yuito, I knew you'd be alright.
Hey, don't idle around. Now that I'm here, the tides have turned.
The hero has arrived.
I'll be your eyes, Yuito!
I need your help.
Come on. Thanks, you two. You saved me.
Stopped hiding.
You're the kind of guy to be done here. Now let's do this thing.
I'm sure everyone will be fine.
Hiding.
We won't lose.
Get cocky.
That was close.
I will stop my brother!
I'll be your shield!
Karin!
Am I late to the party?
Yuito, strike back!
Let's go!
Thanks, Kyoka!
It's not over yet!
Everyone's okay? I thought that'd be the case, but I sure am relieved.
I'm glad to see you're okay too, Yuito.
Damn, Karin is really causing some trouble with this.
I need your help!
Now that we're here, he won't be doing whatever he pleases. Right, Yuito?
As long as we work together, we'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm counting on all of you.
How many times?
With everyone by my side, I can be so much stronger.
Get
use this! Get lost! I'm using this, Shiden. I'm going to get stronger.
I will never accept this world. How could I? I refuse to accept it!
I made it in time.
Kasane! I owe you, Kasane. You saved my life yet again.
No problem. I mean, it does seem like I'm drawn to you whenever you're in a pinch. Always have been, right?
So it seems.
Yuito!
Let's do it.
I'm never going to stop. Next time I will not fail!
It's not just our power. It's all of our powers, working as a team, as one!
Our bonds give us strength!
Courage!
Not like this. If I lose here, it will all have been for nothing. I have but one wish in this world, and it is denied to me.
Give up. You fought and lost. We're done here.
You don't have to keep doing this, Karin.
Yes, I do. I can still...
Karin!
Out of my way, Fubuki!
Please! It's time to stop this. I never knew how much pain you bottled up inside.
Damn you.
Listen to me! Please, Karin. You've suffered long enough. I beg of you, put this burden down. Alice would never want you to torture yourself like this.
Shut up!
Karin, the world is cruel, but you have to find a way to live within it. This world without Alice.
You just have to accept it. You must. We both do. Live on. Live for her.
Please, we need your help.
I'll ask you once again. Come to the Kronos terminal with us and unravel the entanglement.
I know the pain of never being able to see a loved one again, so I won't ask you to accept it willingly. But I can't let you have your way. I don't want to destroy the future of this world.
You went back to the past repeatedly, since no matter how hard you tried, you didn't get the result you wanted. Think of the people who care about you. End this for their sake.
Join us. Help us protect our future. Help us build a better tomorrow.
So this is what they mean by the end. Then, that leaves me with only one choice.
So you'll do it?
I'll grant you your wish. However, are you sure you only want to close the Kunad Gate? You should have already realized its potential, Fubuki.
You mean Kaito Sumeragi's plan to have the Kunad Gate consume the extinction belt?
Oh, I see. We close the Kunad Gate, and at the same time take care of our other problem.
But the plan my brother spoke of isn't feasible. I can't move the extinction belt with just my power.
You mean our gravikinesis? He's right. Even with our combined efforts, we're not strong enough to do that.
Use Arahabaki.
If it's a biocomputer, then it might be possible to raise the cap of your powers by connecting your brains through the SAS.
It is possible. Arahabaki has spent centuries running simulations. There shouldn't be a problem.
You wanted to eradicate the extinction belt that turned Alice into an other as well.
Will Yuito and Kasani's brains be able to withstand the extra output from Arahabaki? It's too dangerous.
If there's even the slightest chance we can do it, we have to try.
If it's theoretically possible, it's worth testing.
Then let's get ready. We'll need to pull some strings in order to use Arahabaki. I'll look after Karin.
We should head to the Kunad Gate.
Does that make Karin my ancestor?
Yuito?
I'll be right there.
You're copying our powers, but only because we're letting you. Don't make me regret this, Karin.
Don't worry. I'll close the Kunad Gate.
Arahabaki is ready. Karin should be ready too.
We're gonna connect through the SAS to help you while operating the link with Arahabaki.
Kasane, Yuito, we got this.
We'll be supporting the two of you through the SAS as well. Let's all make this a success.
This is going to tax all of you, but we need your help. I just know everything is going to work out.
We can do it. We've been able to come this far because we've worked together.
I've finished connecting Arahabaki.
All right, let's start.
Opening SAS connection to Arahabaki.
Wow!
So this is Arahabaki's...
Damn it! So much power!
Feels like I'm going to black out. The extinction belt, it's still not moving.
I have to find a way to control this power!
Just focus on the extinction belt. Give it your all. I'll take care of controlling Arahabaki. We've been connected to it for 2,000 years now.
All right then, do it!
Karin! We trust you.
If you want to save this world, then show me the strength of your resolve!
Kasane!
Yuito!
We've got movement! The extinction belt is getting sucked into the Kunad Gate like we planned!
Oh, wow. The extinction belt is fading away.
We did it. Thank you, Karin.
The extinction belt's no longer a threat. From here, we can go directly to the Kronos terminal.
Right.
Keep your focus on the red strings.
Now. Finally. The last one.
Hey!
Karin!
I can't give up. Not after all these years. I'll go to the past and find a timeline where Alice lives.
No! You can't!
Hold on!
I told you to show me the strength of your resolve. This time, I won't claim Yakumo's life. The final entanglement will be eliminated.
Karin, but that...
You're going to sacrifice your own life.
This is it. One last jump through time.
No, don't do this!
Karin!
Karin, I...
What?
This is... The red strings. But how?
Alice. I'm sorry, Fubuki. Take care of her for me.
Where did he... What just happened?
Look! The Kunad Gate!
Beautiful.
Does that mean... we pulled it off?
The Kunad Gate no longer seems to exist. Karen.
Yeah.
That flood of red we saw everywhere. That was the red strings, wasn't it? Which means...
By traveling into the past, I wonder if we... changed the world for the better.
More than just the Kunad Gate closing, you mean?
Oh! Sorry about zoning out there, guys. Not used to the sky being pretty. Good to go, Haruka?
I've been good to go for a while. Hurry up, Wataru.
We saved the world, didn't we?
We didn't just prevent the future apocalypse. We eliminated the extinction belt, too. Thanks to Karen. We won.
Yeah. He made a new future. All of us did.
It's beautiful. I wish you could see it.
Okay, so this is what we could find out.
We'll need to do a more thorough investigation, but most of it coincides with the history we know.
But there's...
Major General Fubuki, we've received several reports from all areas that the extinction belt has dissipated. And the Kunad Gate suddenly disappeared. What in the world happened here?
I'll send a detailed report later. First, we need to contact the New Himuka government.
Fubuki! You're here too?
Alice?
What? Why are you so startled? Oh, you're with them too, Hanabi? What?
Alice. It's you. Wait. If you're here, then what about... Then... what about Karin?
Karin? I don't know him. Do I?
I was thinking of going to Kunad Highway tomorrow since it's ready. I'd be happy if you'd all join me.
Weather for you, Arashi.
I don't really go for superstitious stuff
No,
like that.
I've never done it.
You should come along. You too, Mocha.
It sounds like
I
a lot
want
of
to read
fun.
the article when it
What
comes out.
preparation should I make?
Sure. I guess I'll join you.
Oh, Yuito!
Sorry, am I late? Major General Fubuki isn't here yet.
Well, let's hang out until everyone gets here. The weather's nice enough.
These cherry blossoms are as beautiful as ever. Even though history changed, Seto and Nagi, their deaths weren't erased. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't hoping for a miracle. But I guess I need to face reality. Anyway, how have you been feeling?
I'm fine right now. I can still use my power, but thanks for your concern. You're always worried about other people. I think that's amazing.
You're still the same. You always look for the best in people.
What? That was sudden. I'm embarrassed.
You took me in after my mistakes and showed me the right way. I'm grateful.
I'm grateful to you too. You were always saving my butt. Also, I think you and the others guided me a lot too. So, I guess that means we found a path we could take together.
I see. Maybe Yuito platoon felt so nice because you were the one in charge. You could call it a family. I don't have any family left, but the warmth I felt in the Yuito platoon was just like it.
Family? Then I guess you'd be the oldest brother.
I'm basically the same age as Chairman Sumeragi.
Well, but your body is still young. You decided to stop acting old.
Right. I still have a lot of life to enjoy.
Don't make it sound like a chore. You have to ease up. You're so serious. Oh, right. We should go to that gyoza place again. I registered an account on their app.
You too? I actually registered on the app as well. Okay, let's go try out some of the new stuff on the menu next time.
It seems that you and Kasane have something to do with the fact that we're the only people who realize that history has changed. When the world was altered, we were connected to Red Strings users through SAS. So we became observers as well. Well, it's all speculation. Regardless, that time travel power is incredibly strong. If history was going to change, it could have made someone else head of PR. Ugh, I'm beat.
You do seem pretty busy lately. You're booked for constant interviews, so you don't have time to slack off.
If you understand, then take over for me. I really am going to quit being the PR person, I mean it.
You say that now, but the fact that you're going to keep working in the OSF means that you're worried about Major General Fubuki.
Oh boy. You really do have some obsession about siblings. How many times do I have to tell you I don't care about my brother that much?
Obsession. Well, I'm a younger brother, so maybe I want to dream.
Are things not going well with former Chief Kaito?
The thing about family and siblings is that you can't cut ties that easily, even if you hate them. And sometimes, those ties aren't cut when you thought they were. You know what I mean, right? So sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't.
I see. Those are some grim prospects.
Yours aren't as complicated as mine. So you should help out Major General Fubuki. When the timeline changed so that Alice was alive and Karin never existed, I think it's been tough for both Luca and your brother. When the timeline changed so that Alice was alive and Karin never existed, I think it's been tough for both Luca and your brother.
Ugh, good grief. Are you trying to say that since you're a younger brother, you understand people who have older siblings who make their lives difficult?
Well, more or less. I'm sure you didn't need me to point out that you and Major General Fubuki have a special bond.
You're such a dreamer. We don't have anything like that. Besides, Fubuki isn't a kid. He decides how he wants to handle this history. I may be his sister, but it's not my place.
I see. Yeah, you're right. Maybe it's none of my business.
God, you never change. You're frustratingly good-natured. You know, you should be worrying more about yourself.
Really?
But that is also your strength. It has to be exhausting, though. No, don't worry. I don't plan on quitting the OSF for now. Fubuki isn't even part of my consideration. There's a lot of benefits to a stable job once you learn all the tricks to slack off.
Okay, got it. You're staying because of Major General Fubuki. That's a relief. Good on you.
So you're going to pretend you didn't hear me. You might actually have what it takes to be a politician.
A world where Alice is alive. This is what Karin wanted, though it is only in hindsight. What my brother did, I believe it was wrong. But I think I felt his thoughts for a moment at the end there. I don't agree with him, but for now I am trying to accept this world. By the way, did you have your brain examined?
Yeah. My power was acquired, so they said I have a very high chance of losing it.
I see.
Don't look so down. I said I don't care about it. I'll be alright.
You really are strong. I must bolster myself so I don't fall into despair. You climbed the mountain with me, so I can't look glum in front of you.
You don't have to pretend to be happy. Karin was...
I know, and I appreciate that. However, I want to push my limits here. The fact that my brother vanished is confusing. But whatever this world is now, I did have a brother. If this is the world my brother wished for, then I want to watch over it and be a part of it as well. I want to be strong for that. Stronger than him.
Yeah. Even if Karin was the one who created this current timeline, it's up to us to create the future.
Are you planning on retiring from the OSF?
Nothing gets past you. I've already put in my request. I'll be back to being a civilian after I take care of a few things. I can't stay in the OSF if I lose my powers.
Even if you didn't lose your power, I think you would have still chosen retirement. in order to protect this country differently from the OSF.
You think so? You might be right. I realize that there are a lot of different ways to help people.
Yes, we will both do what we can to create a better future. I want to use this given power to carry out my duties in the OSF. Even if it was given to me, I should use it to the fullest. I've come to terms with the many parts that make me who I am.
You truly are a Septentrion. So reliable. I'll keep doing my best, too. We might be going about it differently, but I'm sure we're striving for the same future.
Oh, it is important to maintain your physical health after your retirement if you're going to accomplish something significant. I can help you come up with a training regimen.
So that part of you hasn't changed. You really are amazing. Okay, don't make it too tough, though.
I was thinking maybe I would apply for the Lunar Surface Survey project. I want to see how people lived on the moon. Then maybe I'll sort of understand what Togetsu was trying to do. Telepathy probably won't reach here from the moon. I wonder if Wataru will cry because he misses me. I'm just joking. Even without my power or SAS, I'm still connected to my brother and everyone else. It's like an ability that's more than a power.
Blue sky is beautiful. I'm sure the animals are happy the extinction belt is gone too. We have to put the hideout's potted plants outside sometimes. Kaguro helps me with that. So, did you help with the hideout's plants?
Oh, yeah. Sometimes I put them out, give them water and nutrients. Was that bad?
No. I'm glad you took care of them, even with everything that's going on.
It's because I took what you taught me seriously. The spathiphyllum buds are getting pretty big.
I'm glad.
Yeah, I'm just glad that they can bloom at the hideout.
That's not it. I was glad to stay in your platoon.
What? Oh, you mean when Major General Fubuki said he would reorganize us?
Yes, I was a little worried then. Of course, I decided to stay in the platoon after some careful consideration. That decision was about parting with the OSF. I don't handle change very well.
But you still came with us. Thanks. It was really reassuring when you decided to come.
I need to thank you, too. You've given me so much courage. You became my friend and told me I can be who I am.
You're making me blush. I barely did anything.
I wish I could be in Yuito platoon forever. But that won't happen, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I won't be able to stay in the OSF if I lose my powers. And besides, there's a bunch of stuff I want to do.
It's important to do what you want. It's a little unfortunate, but we'll still be friends, won't we?
Of course we're friends. And student-teacher.
You're like the sun to me, Yuito.
What?
Because plants need sun to grow. Even if you leave the OSF, I know you'll be working hard somewhere. That's enough to keep me motivated to grow.
Then you're like the soil to me. The land, earth. Even if we're not in the same place, let's do our best where we are.
Let's have a competition to see whose flower will be prettier. I won't lose.
It looks like the cryogenic sleep chambers stopped functioning when Babe went down. My old associates were taken into custody by the government. Well, they can't do anything without Babe anyway. I'm in a pretty bad spot too. Well, I guess it's obvious they're suspicious of me as well. There's also the thing with Chairman Sumeragi. I'm on release without indictment, hunting others for now, but I'll probably be arrested soon.
I see.
Don't look at me like that. I know you want to say I told you so.
I want you to pay for what you did, but I don't feel smug about it. You're one of us, even if you did some bad things.
Don't you find it hard to live with that personality?
I managed to make it to 16 like this, so no.
That's true. So what are your plans now?
I'll retire. I won't be able to stay in the OSF if I lose my powers. Besides, there's a bunch of stuff I want to do.
Then come visit me if I get thrown in prison. I'd like to know how things are going and how Tsugumi is doing.
Okay. My brother might get caught too, so I can visit you when I visit him.
Hey, am I just an afterthought?
I'm kidding. Besides, Major General Fubuki said that your sentence would be lighter because of everything you did to help. That's why instead of worrying about what will happen when you're caught, you should worry about what you'll do after.
After that? I'm sure I'll be discharged from the OSF. I heard the Lunar Surface Survey project will be going forward, so I'll probably help with... No, it's still a little too hard to go back home to the moon. I'll probably just stay here and clean up the Togetsu mess. I've been on Earth for a while, but I've done so much lying in my life. It might be good to finally live honestly for once.
Then teach me about politics.
Why me? Do I look like I'd be good at it?
Weren't you the commander of the colonists? I looked it up after Kasane told me your real name. You're actually really good at politics.
Aw, man. It sucks to have so much information about you etched in history. Well, I'm tired living a life of lies. It might not be so bad being your tutor.
The history we know only exists in our heads, right? I think we should make a memorial before our memories fade. I'm gonna write down the history that we lived in a historical novel. It'll just be fiction to the rest of the world, though. I'll need your help, too. Of course, I'll do everything I can to support you when you need as well. Just like always. Even if you quit the OSF, that won't change. This is just between us, though, okay?
In this history, it wasn't Karin that started a rebellion with Seiran, but another OSF soldier. He's a known veteran, and I recognize his face. However, history is taking almost the same path. It's something that's beyond human comprehension.
Yuito. Chairman Sumeragi, your father? This new history didn't change what happened to him. The sins of Togetsu didn't change either. I plan to atone for assisting them. I hope I can help with the dismantling of Togetsu as well. What are you going to do? I heard you were retiring, but what about after that?
Oh, you heard already?
Of course. I was the leader of Kyoka Platoon, so I'll hear things amongst the command.
Right. For now, I'd like to do some studying. I also have to clean up the scandals around the Sumeragi name.
Oh, then I might be able to help you, too.
Huh? What do you mean?
I also plan on retiring once things calm down. Since I'm testifying to what Togetsu did, it would only cause trouble if I stayed in the OSF.
I see. I guess that's what it means to bring what Togetsu did to light.
If I leave the OSF, there won't be anything tying me down anymore. I think I can also convey the efforts Chairman Sumeragi went through to protect New Himuka.
But why? Even if you feel responsible for Togetsu, what my father did...
Is Wakana being happy not a good enough reason?
My mom? You mean when you were monitoring my mom?
Yes. Chairman Sumeragi certainly took part in some inhumane activities. Even if it was allowed politically, he can't be forgiven. But that's not everything Chairman Sumeragi was. He got in the way of Togetsu. He was assassinated because he tried to protect New Himuka from Togetsu. I'm sure of it. The chairman's merits and demerits should both be made public. That should be detailed in Togetsu's materials.
I didn't think anyone would look at it that way. I'm glad. To be honest, I was a little depressed about it. Because some people say the Sumeragi family was controlling New Himuka for their own interests. My father and brother did some horrible things.
That shouldn't be all. It should all be brought to light. I'll help you do that.
Thanks. Even if it's the hard truth, I'll face it head on.
Aunt Alice is really nice, but there are still times I just don't know what to say to her. Oh, my mom and dad left a message. They told me to invite you for dinner. Food tastes better when you eat with friends. It's just like when we were little. Oh, I heard you put in your resignation.
Yeah, I made up my mind. Once everything calms down and the OSF is back to business as usual, I plan to retire.
So it's really true. Well, I'm sure there are so many things you still want to do. Do your best in your new life. I'll do my best in the OSF. I guess, well, we should both do our best.
I guess that's a good summary, but you're right. I mean, I feel safe leaving the OSF in your hands, Hanabi.
Really? I'm not good enough to say that you can count on me, and there are so many obstacles I need to overcome. But I'm confident that I won't give up.
I know. It's not easy trying to live up to your ideals, but I know you can do it.
Thanks. Just watch. I'll prove I can. And I'll be watching you too.
Yeah. Oh, didn't you say you had something to tell me?
I can't say yet, but be ready, because I will tell you someday. Once I become the person I want to be.
What do you mean, be ready? I don't really understand, but I'll be waiting until you say it's time.
Major General Fubuki is late. Maybe we should contact him. By the way, don't you want to talk to everyone?
No, I'm good.
Sorry for keeping everyone waiting.
When's the last time everyone got together like this? I'm glad to see nobody's changed.
It hasn't been that long. I've been so busy I actually lost track of time. Man, I need a break.
That makes sense since you've had to deal with the media every day. Seriously, good work.
It appears there hasn't been much change with the others in this area.
While new others haven't appeared since the extinction belt dissipated, it's not like the ones already here just suddenly went away.
Yeah. Looks like I won't be retiring anytime soon.
That's right. We need to keep protecting everyone.
I heard they're going to change the other reports to a system that tracks them on the surface.
It looks like things are going to start changing around here, little by little.
All right, let's do what we came here to do. That should do it. I want to thank everyone for coming today to honor him.
So we're the only ones who remember Karin.
The world changed, but we weren't affected by it.
Erasing his own existence like that? I never would have thought he had it in him.
Maybe it was the price to change the world the way he desired. Although I'm sure he doesn't look at it as paying a price. Why do you have to go off and make me an only child?
He will exist as long as we remember him. We know that he was here in this world.
Yes.
Well, are you guys ready to head home?
I wouldn't mind taking out a few others around here on our way out.
Such the diligent soldier. Who in their right mind asks to do more work?
Yuito. How are your powers?
There haven't been any big changes so far. I'll stay in the OSF a little while longer, then retire once everything calms down a bit.
And after that?
Well, I've got a lot on my mind in terms of what I want to do. It might sound conceited, but I want to change the world so duds like me have a place in it. I'd also like to face what my father and brother have done. I'm a member of the Sumeragi family, after all. And there's the other particles as well.
Other particles? The extinction belt is gone.
Yeah, but it's originally from space, right? It could appear again someday, since we didn't get it at the source. That's why I think we should study the other particles more closely, so we can eventually prevent, or even cure metamorphosis.
I had no idea you had so much on your mind. Does that mean you're going to get involved in politics?
Sounds that way, huh? Although, I'm not really cut out to be a politician.
Really? From what I've seen of you lately, I bet you'd be good at it.
What, really? I don't know if it'll suit me, but I'm thinking about going to college. I want to study politics, and not because of who my dad was. I want to change New Himuka. You've made your decision too, haven't you?
Yes. I've decided to go. There.
To the moon. We'll be pretty far away from each other. But at least, I can always look up at night.
Every one of us is born alone. But even though we're alone, we can connect with each other. Where we are doesn't really matter.
Kasane, I'll keep living, no matter what.